Good morning all. How are you? Hope you all are fine at your home. Have you completed IT notes? If not, please complete it, okay? So this is our video session 28 and the previous class we have discussed about
giving permanent IP address. So go to NMApplet, click on edit connection option. There we can give IP address, DNS server, gateway, net mask, etc. And then second topic was internet in every computer. So give a connection from your modem to the switch using a network cable, and from the switch we can connect different computers. And the last topic was printing over a network. So do the given settings in your system so that we can connect the printer over the computers in a network.
So in today's session, we are moving to the end part of this lesson, which is how to exchange the file using from one computer to other computer. Then last, I'll summarize the chapter. Okay. So let's start today's session with first topic. So by the end of the session, you will be able to understand about.
The learner understands about exchanging of information between two computers connected over a network. For that, we require the file name and the folder to which that file is kept, and also the IP address of that particular system, and then username and password of that system. So these are the details required for exchanging information between two computers connected over a network, and to learn about the use of networking. So these are the learning objective behind today's session.
So shall we start today's class? So first topic is exchanging the files, which is the main topic in this lesson. So for exchanging, to take a copy of a file from a computer lab to another computer, what all are the things we need in order to exchange that file? We need the file name, which file to be copied. Secondly, we need where, in which folder that file is kept. So we need that folder name. And third thing, which is the main thing, we need to know the IP address of that computer. Okay. The IP address of that computer which we are going to share that file. So we need to know that IP address. IP address means that 4-part IPv4 192.168.1.25. That IP address we need to know. So if we are making that permanent, we need to memorize that one IP address. So IP address we need to know. Then fourth thing is we need to know the username and password of that particular computer. So then only we can share the information from one computer to other computer. It is authenticated with that username and password. So let's see how to exchange the information from one computer to another computer connected over a computer network. Okay.
For that, click in the order places, network and other location, or places connect to server option, and then a window box will appear. There type the address as per your textbook. Page number 68, top second point. They have provided one IP address. So type like this, SSH / then give the IP address of that particular system. Click on connect button. So they will ask to enter the username and password of that computer to which connection has to be made. So type the username and password of that system so that it will get connected to the second computer, and from that system we can copy required file. Just right click on that file, click on copy, and then we can paste it on our desktop.
So that's our chapter 5. Hope you all have clear about every topics. It's Pakka theory oriented chapter. You must read the lesson and you must study the IP address structure, then devices used to connect the computer network, etc. Then only you will be able to answer the questions from the 5th chapter. So now I am going to summarize the chapter 5 so that you can memorize the activities or the topics which we have discussed in 5th chapter. Okay. So let's summarize chapter 5.
Let's summarize chapter 5. Networking. Chapter 5 deals with networking. Networking means the process of connecting computers so that they can exchange the informations easily. And there are certain devices used for networking, and they are cables, for example UTP cable, connectors, for example RJ45, RJ11, and then hub or switch. The difference between hub and switch is hub will transfer the data to every computers connected over a network, whereas switch will transfer the data to that particular computer itself. And then to provide internet and interconnecting computers, we require modem. The full form is modulator and demodulator, and also about LAN and WAN for interconnecting computers. LAN means local area, and for connecting the computers wide around the wide area, we are requiring WAN connection. And then we have discussed about wireless technology, and then wireless technology uses radio frequency waves. After that, the topic was how computers communicate each other, or how computers will understand I want to send the information from this computer to this computer. For that we require protocols and IP addresses. Protocols means what? Certain rules or norms that an equipment which is connected over a network should follow, and they are called as protocols. And usually in a network we are using TCP IP protocol, transmission control protocol, or IP, internet protocol. Then we have discussed about structure of an IP address. It will consist of 4 parts. If it is IPv4 address, usually we are using IPv4 address, and the first 3 parts indicate the network, the third number indicate the network, and fourth number indicate the system. So always in a small network, first 2 values will be same, and for third value we will change whenever we are connecting it to different networks, and fourth value indicates the computer, and this value is automatically provided by DHCP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol servers are providing this IP address whenever we are switch on the system. And next topic was determining IP address by clicking on NM applet, Network Manager applet. From there select connection information so that we can see the IP address of that particular system. And next topic was giving permanent IP address. So whenever we are switch on the computer in different orders, DHCP will provide different IP address to every system. So it will be one difficult task for entering different IP address whenever we are exchanging the information. So that we can provide permanent IP address by doing some procedures. It is described in your textbook. So that we can provide permanent IP address to every system. And then next 3 topic was use of networking. We can share the internet by providing a connection from modem to the switch using network cable, and from the switch we can connect every system through that network cable. And next usage was to exchange files, so that we require the file name and the folder and also the IP address of that system, and then we require password and username of that system. And finally we can share printer by doing certain system settings. We can share the printer. So the main question from this chapter is that study the IP address format. The IP address will be always less than 256, and normal cases 0, 1 and 255 are reserved for some specific purposes. So other numbers we can give for giving IP addresses, and study about the devices used for doing networking, and also study about the protocols like TCP IP. TCP IP is the protocol used for doing networking. So these are the main topics in chapter 5. It is such an easy chapter. So study the theory portions. There will be no practical questions from this lesson.
So that's our chapter 5. From the next class onwards, we'll start a new chapter. In part 1 textbook, the final chapter. 6 chapters are there in part 1. So 6th chapter, 2 softwares are there to learn in 6th lesson. So from next class onwards, we'll start a new chapter. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can contact me. So write your notes, study well, take care. Thank you and have a nice day.